Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Friday night, which means it's alcohol-free night. And the beer we're going for tonight hails from Belgium. It's got some cherry flavour in it. It's this one. It is KASTEEL Rouge Original. And it's 0.0% ABV, completely alcohol-free. It's a 330ml bottle. And I got it from the House of Trembling Madness. There's not an awful lot I can tell you about the beer, because a lot of it is just ingredients. Well, it is all ingredients. And yeah, your ingredients are listed as water, barley malt, wheat, cherry concentrate, sugar, hops, aromas. So it's got some smells, some spices. Be interested to see what they are. I'm hoping it's cinnamon, because it goes lovely with cherry. And a foam stabilizer and propylene glycol alginate and sucralose sweetener. So yeah, lots of things in there I wouldn't necessarily associate with beer, particularly the PG. But yeah, and sweeteners. I'm not a big fan of sweeteners, given that you've got sugar in it anyway. We shall see how this one goes. It could be quite interesting. I like the idea of cherry in a beer, and I've not had an alcohol-free one for a while, so I thought I'd give this one a try. So without further ado, we're going to get it out into a glass and see what we think. We're going to pour into my Titanic goblet, because we can. And the pour is, oh, nice red, nice deep cherry red, mahogany ruby blend. I'm not going to go too nuts, because it's only a small one. So you've got, if you're a guitar person like me and you are familiar with the Gibson SG in that lovely cherry red colour, when you look at it through the lights, that's exactly what you've got. And you've got a slightly pinky toned head that is relatively tight in areas, loose in others, but otherwise it looks all right. Let's have a whiff. Smells of cherry, to be fair. Not big in your face cherry. It's more like, if you know those old cherry drops, don't think of those, because those are big on the cherry. This is more like smelling the cherry and almond of a Bakewell tart. It's that kind of vibe, not too in your face. There is a hint of beery notes in there as well, but overall it's a sweet almondy cherry type vibe. So it looks good. It smells very sweet. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. The cherry is far more intense on the flavour than it is on the nose. It's quite a sharp cherry, and I like that. Cherry can be really cloyingly sweet, but this is really quite nice. And given the fact that it's got sweetness in there, I was expecting sweetness. I've got a clean, bright, fresh cherry flavour. I'm hunting for those spices, but I'm not getting anything. Maybe it's one of those things that you'd notice if it wasn't there, but nevertheless, there's nothing obvious and in your face. I realise I completely forgot about the body, which is medium. Carbonation is good. Overall mouthfeel is pretty damn good, to be fair. Could be heavier, but it's completely alcohol-free. So I don't expect the heaviest of bodies, which would always go down well. And a big, I'll say something else in a minute. But yeah, a big body would go down lovely on this. The back end is clean and refreshing and fruity, understandably so. And it's the kind of beer that you would have as a dessert for me. It's very much that kind of aperitif type thing. Not bad, not bad. So the thing I was going to say, I can imagine that working nicely with chocolate. So if I could find an alcohol-free chocolate stout, for example, mix the cherry and the chocolate together, that could be lovely. Anyway, scoreboard of joy time. It's currently void of everything, like so. Let's fill it in with a red pen of judgment, as always. So, revisit the pour. Can't do that cack-handed. No. Anyway, the pour, as we saw, deep, rich ruby red with hints of mahogany, reminiscent of Angus Young's, Gibson SGs, that kind of cherry red with the lights. You've got a nice head on that. It's a very good head, and the foam stabilizer does a decent job whilst it lasts. So there's nothing really to dislike about that. The head colour, maybe, because it's unusual, but it's going to be red tinted because of the cherry concentrate. If it was a pure white head, I think I'd be even more over the moon. I'm going to go 0.9, just because the colour of the head is a little bit, I don't know, it makes me think of zombies and flayed flesh and whatnot. Anyway, aroma. If you love marzipan, if you love a cherry bakewell like I do, then you're absolutely going to love that aroma. It's all about the cherry and almond type vibe. I can get why some wouldn't like it, but I do. I'm giving it a full point, not 0.1 like I've just written. Anyway, the body, medium, good carbonation. Overall mouthfeel is really rather nice. Pretty damn good for alcohol-free, to be fair. No flaws on that one. Full point on that as well. The flavour is better for me than the aroma was. I love the aroma, but the flavour it kind of took it up a notch and gave it a little punch of that cherry, that kind of really slightly sour cherry. That for me is wonderful. I like it. I like it a lot. There's no real beer flavour to speak of, and there was no evidence of the spices that they say they included. I don't know what they were. It doesn't mention it. Just says spices. It could have been some cinnamon, but it's so faint. I've clearly missed it. It could have been nutmeg. It could be mace. It could be anything. It's just not there. So yeah, the spices. I was hoping for a little something, but they're not there. So, as much as I say that the flavour is better than the aroma, and I'm missing the spices, I can't give it more than the one. I'm gonna have to change things. I'm gonna have to go to 0.9 on the aroma because I want to give the flavour a little bit more. So yeah, I've only got one option. Aroma's dropped down to 0.9. The flavour is getting a full point, and the finish. It's a fruited beer. It's going to be fruity, so naturally it is. It's sweet. It's not overly long lasting. I am tasting a hint of cherry, but it's quite faint now. But what is there is really rather nice. It's certainly not. It's not worthy of knocking much off, if anything. I just wish it had more longevity, so I'm going to go the 0.9, which means we've got 4.7 out of 5 today, which is a damn good score. Would I buy this one again on the bonus point side of things? Do you know what? Yes, I would. And I'd probably say the wife would enjoy one as well, actually. Value for money, I paid £2.25, just looking at my pick sheet there, which is pretty good value for money for a tasty cherry beer. Certainly one of the better cherry beers I've had, anyway. But it can't have the full bonus because it didn't get a full 5 out of 5. But nevertheless, 4.7 out of 5 with 2 bonuses is damn good. There we go. There's the evidence. So, as we approach that time of year where, well, festivities occur, because it is now December the 12th, 13 days to go, and you're looking for a little post-dinner sweet treat that's of the beverage form, that is also alcohol-free, then you probably can't go too far wrong with some of the KASTEEL Rouge Original. If you don't like cherries, you're going to be shit out of luck, because you won't like this one at all. But I do, and it's fantastic. So yeah, highly recommend you try it if you like a cherry or two. And we'll leave it there and say, that's been a beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I will see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.